Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of spiritual gifts. In this next study, we're going to be looking at what each of the spiritual gifts are and what we possess. And getting the young people in our groups to reflect on those and to reflect on, what gifts they see in each other and what they see in themselves and how they can use those, beginning that understanding that God's impacting them personally. But first, we're going to have a look at, for you guys, the background to where spiritual gifts come from. So firstly, we need to understand that God sent Jesus to the earth. Jesus lived and died, and we talk about that, the Christology of everything. That's pretty much the core of our faith. Now, the Father and Son send the Spirit to His church. So when we interact with God, we're interacting with the Spirit. The Spirit comes to His church to send His church forward. So as the Father sent the Son, so they send the Spirit. Now the Spirit is sending His church to the world to be God's hands and feet to this world. Now, the Spirit also possesses all of the gifts. This is the long list that we've got out. So He possesses all of these gifts. And the Spirit heads to His church to indwell His people. Now, the Spirit's inside all of Christians, all believers. As God's people minister, the Spirit gives them the gifts they need to do this. So the Spirit takes all those gifts and takes them to His people. And at the given time, He will give a gift. So it might be a gift of teaching, of comfort, of helps, or of service. He gives those to His people. So then His people can give the gifts to those who need them. Now, in saying this, there's this understanding that we get given a spiritual gift. But the gift we get given is the Spirit inside of us. And that Spirit has all of the gifts. And then He brings those gifts to the surface at the time that we need them. Now, He'll also tend to give us gifts to fulfill God's purpose. So we'll get some gifts specifically for people that might get a gift of leadership and always have the gift of leadership. There's other times that that person with the gift of leadership may not be inclined to, I suppose, like pray to heal someone. But there's a time that the Spirit leads and they pray and that person's healed. It doesn't mean that they'll always be healed because they've got a gift of healing. It means that the Spirit has given them that gift for that time and season. And the purpose He gives each of these gifts in those times is to build up and edify His church. So His church will grow and each of His people will be encouraged and strengthened because of this. So that's a little bit of the background. So the Spirit possesses all the gifts and He brings the gifts to His people, so His people can use them to edify His church.